What's going on, Spurs fans? Spurs Nation, 87. I would say game six, but you already know the story. The season of the San Antonio Spurs, one of the greatest runs ever in franchise history. You know, um, excuse me, a 67 win season, best, one of the greatest records the Spurs have ever had in history. Their season's over. Um, it just makes me so proud of how I am of the Spurs team. Even though they got robbed in this series, I mean, they got cheated out bad in the series. You can't blame them for. You can't blame them for at least uh, trying to come back and trying so hard to win the series. But like I said, they got cheated. They got cheated out. Uh, I couldn't even be any more proud of my Spurs than I am. Every single season, ever since the day Tim Duncan got drafted, the Spurs have never ever missed, not one. They haven't missed the playoffs one time. Not one time have they missed it. Doesn't matter if they got swept out of the first round or they got beaten 5, 6, 7 or 7 games in the first round. It don't matter. The Spurs have never missed a playoffs ever since Tim Duncan. And you know what? The fact of the day is that I just found out. Um, since Coach Pop took over for the Spurs in '96, and until now, there has been there has been 233 coaching changes in the 20 years Pop's been coaching the Spurs. Pop has been the only coach to stay with one team. Every other team has gone from coach to coach to coach to coach. The Lakers have done it. The Celtics have done it. The Cavaliers have done it on multiple occasions, multiple times. Um, the Cavaliers have done it. Um, Magic's already done it. I mean, almost every single team has had to go from coach to coach to coach to coach, but not the Spurs because Pop is the only coach in these 20 years to stay with one team and win over 1,000 wins with one team. And Tim Duncan is now the main top Spur to have over 1,000 wins with one team. That shows true dedication right there. And you know what? Speaking of Tim Duncan, um, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional right now. Um, this could be Tim Duncan's last year with the Spurs. This could be the final time that he's a Spur. Um, there has been a lot of people, wondering, thinking, if he's gonna come back for one last season. And yes, Tim Duncan has 1 year left on his contract, just like Manu Ginobili has 1 year on his contract. Um, I don't want to see Tim Duncan go out like this. If he's gonna go out, he needs he needs to at least go, just take his final cash in for his final year, and be determined to get his sixth ring. If he comes back, he will go for his sixth ring. Once he goes for that sixth ring, when they do, I think I think possibly it will be Tim Duncan's, and it's going to be his 20th season with the Spurs. If that happens, this will be probably the last time we ever see Tim Duncan in the Spurs jersey. I mean, this will be probably be next season will be his final season possibly. But I guess I'm sorry, I'm trying to get emotional right now. Um, but you know what? If this ends up if this ends up being Tim Duncan's final year, Tim um, Tim Duncan, I want to thank you personally so very much from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for the Spurs. Thank you so much for helping this team bring home 5 NBA championships. Thank you for being our franchise, for being the Spurs franchise of this team. Thank you so much for helping us become one of the greatest small market teams in NBA history. With all the Spurs success that they've had within these 19 years is because of Tim Duncan. And just like what Dale Robinson said, after 2003, when he won his second ring and he announced his retirement, he said Tim Duncan's that our team is in good hands, and it was in real good hands. Tim Duncan was the man to do it, to help the Spurs bring home 5 championships. I mean, he's the Spurs' top leading scorer. Maybe not per game, but overall. Um, He's the Spurs' top scorer in NBA scoring of all time. He's the Spurs. He's now the Spurs uh, black leader. He's a Spurs um, number one rebound. He's the Spurs number one rebounder. And he has his 3 Finals MVPs, his 5 rings. I can't say how proud I am. Words can explain how proud I am right now. If this is Tim Duncan's last season, like I said, this the greatest power forward to have ever played the game of all time has done so much for the Spurs team. Even when the Spurs were at their worst, Tim Duncan never left. Never. He's not that desperate to go to another team to try to win a championship. No. He was drafted a Spur, and he's retiring a Spur. And you know what, Tim? Thank you so much for your loyalty. Thank you for never giving up on this team. Thank you for never going to another team to try to win another championship with when the Spurs couldn't win the championships that they were supposed to be winning, that they should have won. And no matter what, you stood by the team. No matter what happened, ups and downs, you never left the Spurs team. Like I said, I can't say how proud I am of Tim Duncan. You know, he's one of the most beloved Spurs, besides Manu Ginobili. Um, you know what? I've never been emotional. I've never been like this in any of my videos, but you know what? This is how proud. This is how much that this team means to me, especially when you've got one of the greatest players on your team through 19 years. 19 years. And then finally helping the Spurs bring a championship home. It says a lot. But like I said, you know, if this is the final time we see Tim Duncan, thank you, Tim, so much for your time here in San Antonio. Thank you so much, and I mean so very much for your time here in San Antonio with the Spurs. Thank you for helping the Spurs bring home 5 championships. Thank you from all my heart, and to all of us of the Spurs Nation, all over the world. Thank you so much. If this is your final year, if this is the last time we see you, but if but just like what everyone says, one more year, 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 one more year. I'll get a message to you. You know what, Spurs fans? I know, I know most of you were very upset because, and it's true, the Spurs did get cheated out in this series. Even though they got cheated, you gotta give them the greater words due. I mean, but I really don't know what happened. The first game they played the Thunder, they annihilated the hell out of them. They beat them to death. They manslaughtered them. The Spurs murdered them. They castrated them, decapitated them. I mean, they did everything. And after that, I don't know what happened after that. But you know what? Can't be mad at the Spurs. It's hard to be mad at this team, the Spurs team, especially with everything they try to do to get better. You know, bringing in LaMarcus Aldridge, bringing in David West, bringing in Ray McCallum, and then bringing in Jonathan Simmons. But pretty much they waived Ray McCallum. And then later on, the Spurs ended up signing Andre Miller and Kevin Martin. um, this Spurs team for this season is, and probably always will be, one of the most dangerous and most deepest Spurs team ever in history. Despite them not winning the championship, it's true. 67 wins this season. Only 15 losses. Only 15 losses. 67 wins. How much better do you need to get? you know, um, Everyone's already looking forward to next season. um, the Spurs are already showing their interest in signing Mike Conley. Mike Conley. Man, if the Spurs get him, most likely they won't even need Andre Miller, and it could be a possibility that they'll waive Patty Mills. I'm not saying they will. It's a possibility. I'm guessing it's a possibility. I mean, Mike Conley is a great shooter. I'll give him that. He's fearless when it comes to him driving to the basket. He's a great passer. He can create his own shot. He can create shots for other players. He's a pretty good defender too. He's still a young stud. He's still young. He's still younger than Tony Parker by a couple. He's younger than Tony Parker. Just put it that way. And you know what? Spurs also have an interest in sending KD for next summer too. I mean, for this summer. I'm sorry. If that happens, our scoring just got a whole lot more better. Whole lot better. 1,000 times better. Yes, he can score. He can rebound. He's not really. He's a passer, but not. You know, he can work on that. That can be worked on. He's a good rebounder. He's a good free throw shooter. He's got the. He's got the. He's got the depth. I mean, he's got everything that you would need in a player. You know. And then also a possibility too that Spurs can get Pau Gasol this summer too. And I've said I've always liked this guy. I've always liked him. He's a great scorer. He's a great rebounder. He's got a good wingspan. He's got a good wingspan. Um, he's a he's a really great. He's a real good defender, especially in the paint. Um, and that's something we need. Rebounding. We need someone that can rebound. So some of the Spurs get Conley, Durant, and Gasol. Pau Gasol. That'll possibly be it for next season. The Spurs will probably they'll end up being champions for sure. But and also, you know what? I can't forget Manu Ginobili either. I know I was talking about Tim Duncan a lot, but like I said, I mean, this Tim Duncan's been our main franchise for this team. Bringing home 5 championships. With his 3 Finals MVPs. his back-to-back season MVPs. Um, but we can't forget Manu Ginobili either. When this dude came into the league, I wasn't really, to be honest with you, I wasn't really expecting much from him because I don't know what he was capable of. But after seeing him when he came into the first year with the Spurs, I was really, truly, surprisingly impressed. This dude, when Majumi was young, this guy can freaking ball. He he's got the he had probably one of the greatest great ball handler, a very great passer. When it comes to him doing his crazy globetrotter moves, oh my god, he will make you look stupid. He will make you look ridiculous. I mean, he'll fake you out. I mean, man, it is ridiculous. um, but Manu also. I mean, another one of our greatest Spurs players of all time. Sixth man of the year, four-time NBA champion. Uh, and I wish he could at least have one Finals MVP, but at least with him being a part of the Spurs team, he helped the Spurs bring home four championships along with Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. And if this is Duncan and Ginobili's last year, this will be probably also be the end of the big three: Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan. And it's sad. It's gonna be the most saddest day when I hear the breaking news that Tim Duncan or Manu Ginobili Tim Duncan and or Manu Ginobili have announced their retirement. When that breaks, it's gonna be the most saddest, hardest day, not just of my life, but of everyone's lives that are Spurs fans. And it's true. But if this is the last day, if this is their last season, again, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I couldn't be any more. I could not be any more proud of what they've done with their time here with in San Antonio. Thank you guys for your time so much. You know, it's hard. It's gonna be hard. But you know what, Spurs fans? I mean, if this is their final season, we've got to move on. We've got to move on to bigger things in life. Sorry, I moved my sign out of the way. We got to move on to bigger things. We've got to get better and younger too. Not young, but how do you say it? Sort of like someone with experience in the NBA. They already knows their way around the NBA. They knows their way around the court. You know, we need someone like that. But I'm telling you this right now. Since the Spurs got cheated out, now there's all these Thunder fans gloating and because you know what? It's okay. You know what? You know what? So those Thunder fans, y'all can gloat all y'all want. But I got a message for y'all. I got a message for y'all on my next video. Because the moment that y'all lose the next series, that y'all lose the West Finals, I've got something to say for y'all. I'm not gonna say it right now, but I got a message for y'all. It's gonna be short, simple, and sweet. Just so you know. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait until when the series starts, and y'all get beat on the series. Something for y'all. And of course, you're gonna say, "Well, we with the Spurs." No, with y'all beating the Spurs means nothing in the playoff series if you don't go on and win the NBA title. Nothing. Just take it back to 2012. Y'all beat the Spurs. Did y'all win the title? Nope. So it meant nothing. So I got a message for the OKC Thunder fans. They were talking all y'all's garbage about the Spurs. Y'all can dislike, y'all can put all these hate comments. What I'm gonna tell y'all, something short, sweet, and simple. That'll be true. Something for y'all to keep in mind, and it's one of the old sayings. But you'll find out soon enough. Very soon enough. All right, now getting off that, um, you know, everyone's already looking forward to next season. What are the Spurs gonna do to improve to get better? What are they gonna do to make adjustments? What are they gonna do? We'll have to find out. Like I said, you never know. So do I have it upside down? Oh, okay. Um, well, guys, there's still a lot to talk about, and there is. But right now, um, I've said what I need to say. Again, um, listen, this is going to be hard. The hardest thing this season. Um, if this is their final year, it's hard. It's going to be really hard. But I hope they come back for one more year. But you know what? Like I said, I couldn't be any more proud of the Spurs team than I am now. All right, guys. Well, here to get the shoutouts. Um, excuse me for a second. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I don't mean to be like this, but I've never been emotional like this. But like I said, Spurs came up one of the greatest seasons ever. I couldn't be any more proud. Just like all of y'all, couldn't be any more proud. Like I said, it's tough. It's tough having to see the Spurs go out like this. It's tough. But you know what? Next season, this Spurs team is going to get better. They're going to get more pissed off and more determined for next season to win the NBA title. And they will. They will win the NBA title next season. Mark my words. All right, guys. Well, I want to give shout outs to First of all, my Spurs fairy, I love you, baby. Um, my bros from the Spurs fan, my bros from the Spurs fan cave, which I'm also part of. Joe Garcia, Martin Dominguez, my bro Spurs Phenom, my bro Old School McGee, my buddy the Sporado, and the Spurs man. Also to the Spurs super fans, the Spurs Deadpool, um, Spurs Bane, the Spurs Hulk, the Spurs Bat fan, the Spurs Mariachi Sparachi. Um, can't forget also the Spurs Spider Man. Uh, man, and also can't forget Spurs big homie. Can't forget about him. Another great Spurs fan. Um, I'm sorry guys. I'm really emotional right now, but it's tough right now. Like I said, I love my Spurs, and I could not be any more proud of them than I am now. Great season, great run. Did their best to advance, but they got cheated out. Uh, Also, we got shout outs to the international Spurs fans. Spurs Angel Shade from the Philippines, Taro Kotani from Japan, and Antonio Monaco from Italy. And also, shout outs to our Spurs fans, Jose Laro, Peter Martinez, Israel Camacho, the biggest diehard Danny Green fan, Jeanette Canales, Isabel Torres, Jess Morales, Jay Kite, uh, Amanda Casillas Gallegos, Renee Molina, Nora Garza, Roland Montenegro Jr., David Silvas, Raimundo Lopez Jr., Ronnie Washington, Corina Alvarez, Jen Laitan, Carlos and Roseanne Martinez, Joe Rangel, William Ramos, Horacio Valdez, Christine Diavaro, and also can't forget the man behind the face paint, Spurs Team Energy's own Benjamin Vidales. Big shout out to you, Ben. I also can't forget big shout out to Jonathan Sanford, uh, the Spurs uh, the Spurs announcer, the Spurs intro man, who introduces our Spurs. Um, well, you know how you know how he does it. At point guard, 6'2" from Paris, France. Number 9, Tony Parker. You know that one. Man, he does it so awesome. I love the way he does. You know what's not. He doesn't just do it. I mean, he does it with like, like he feels it. Like he feels it inside. That's what I love about Jonathan Sanford. Does a great job on how the way he announces our Spurs players. Um, well, like I said, guys, I mean, this I couldn't be any more proud of my Spurs team. You know, just like all of y'all. Um, Now it's just time. It's time to move on now. Then time to move on to next season and time to get better. Time to get back to. It's time for the Spurs to take some time off, spend time with their families. And Parker, Tony Parker, you need to do the same too. Stay away from your country. Give yourself rest. Rest up. I don't mean stay in your country that way. I mean like stay away from basketball this summer. Rest up. Be with your wife or fiance, whatever. Be with your son. Be with your family. That's more important right now. Be with your family. Rest up. Get ready for next season. There's plenty of that. I know you have a passion and love for basketball, but rest up, Parker. Rest up. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your bros, man. Spend time with the players with Aldridge, Duncan, go out, go to a pool park or a water park or something. But stay away from basketball, please, please. Anyway, like I was saying, I mean it's time just to move on. Just look forward to next season. The Spurs can make the moves. You'll be sure to hear from me and my reaction on who the Spurs sign. They signed Conley, they signed Durant, they signed Gasol. You're definitely gonna hear my reaction. And believe me, when it comes to signing players like that, you know my reaction. All right, Spurs fans. Well, I wanna thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all so much for tuning into my channel. Thank you all for watching my videos. Thank you for your feedbacks. Thank you for allowing me to give you all shout outs. Thank you for that. But most of all, you guys are the greatest. All season long. Greatest fans ever. Greatest ever. Ever. Alright guys, well, I will talk to y'all soon. And also, big shout outs to all my YouTube subscribers too. Much love to you guys. You are the best ever. Thank y'all so much. And to all my haters out there, thank you for your support too. Whether you dislike my videos, give me negative feedback. Thank you, haters, so much. And even though you still hate me, you still watch my videos, so thank you. Alright guys, well, this is my last video. So this is my last video for now. That's it. When I know about who the Spurs signed and who's coming